Hey everybody, it's June 3rd, 2019. We're going to do a flea market find series. This is actually picks that I made about 3 weeks ago now, 3.5 weeks ago, at the Brimfield Antique Flea Market. That's a huge flea market. It's actually known all over the world as being one of the largest flea markets of its outdoor flea markets of its type, and they have it 3 times a year. They typically have it the week following Mother's Day in May every year. Then they have it in July, and then they have another show in, I think, September or late August, I forget. No, early September. Anyways, it's a huge flea market. It's mostly antiques and collectibles. But I go to pick machinist tools. I scour through all the dealers that are there, and I find the occasional deal. And I also find other stuff, as you'll see. It just kind of caught my eye and interests me. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right in. I ended up spending an entire day there and was only able to do probably about 40% of the flea market. I basically went pretty much almost all the way down one side of Route 20. The flea market consists of a series of different fields on both sides of Route 20 in Brimfield, Massachusetts for probably about, I'd say maybe a mile. Anyways, it's a huge flea market. You can imagine how many dealers are in each field. It used to be a lot bigger, and then when the internet became popular and eBay kind of took over, the online auctions became popular. It kind of drove the dealers away, and they went online. Now it's kind of having, I would say it's having somewhat of a resurgence, but I don't know. Enough blabbing. You guys don't want to hear me blab. Let's dive right in and show you some of the little deals that I got here at the flea market. So these first 2 items I'm showing you here are actually first couple of items that I stumbled upon at a dealer who had a couple of machinist items, one of which was a Starett micrometer. The micrometer, he was kind of high on the price, and then I asked about these, and he was kind of reasonable on these, but I really didn't need these, so I figured what my plan was I'd come back, because he was right near the beginning. On my way back out, I'd hit him late in the afternoon. If he still had these items, I knew they'd be ripe for the picking, and if he didn't have them, I wouldn't be that upset about it. I actually already own one of these. This is an RCA model WV-89C Senior Volt Ohmist. Okay, this is a very high impedance input analog voltmeter, and basically to get this kind of impedance, the technology would be a vacuum tube voltmeter, and these are really great for, I like using these. I haven't done it in quite a while, but when I would be tuning an RF circuit, for instance, with the proper probe, I was able to actually look at a DC voltage level without having to worry about loading that circuit down. Now, digital voltmeters, DVMs, now that they're in vogue, they have like really crazy input impedance values, really high. So these kind of fell out of favor because of that. But I'll tell you, there's nothing nicer than having a big analog meter like this to look at when you're tweaking like an IF or an RF coil, and you're trying to see where that little sweet spot is, where there's the dip, you know. Those of you who work on old radios and stuff probably know what I'm talking about. But all you need to know from me is that this, I don't even know if it works, but I figured I'd take a chance on it. I ended up going back and offering him $25 for both of these items. So I figure I'm into the meter for 15. This other item is what's called a decade box. What this has is a whole bunch of resistors in it. And with various positions of these knobs, you can create different values of resistance across these posts. So if you're designing a circuit and you want to play around with a resistance value, changing a resistance value a little bit in the circuit to see how it acts or performs, this would be a good thing to have. Or if if you've got like a problem where you're out of a particular resistor and you just want to see whether or not that the circuit's going to run when you get the new resistor in. I can't think of another good analogy for it. But I just thought it was kind of neat, and it's built like a T-72 Russian tank. This is made by the General Radio Corporation of Concord, Massachusetts. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's made right here in the good old Massachusetts area. Knobs all feel really good. Probably with just a good cleanup, it might be perfectly fine. Sometimes you occasionally find the bad resistor inside here that needs to be replaced. But I'm only into this thing for 10 bucks, so I'm not too worried about it. So here's the micrometer the guy had, and his best price was 25 bucks at the beginning of the day, and I was able to get him down to 20 bucks. And I still think I'm into this for more than I want to be. It's not an extra special one. It's got engraving on the back here, okay, but it is very clean, I'll give it that. It has really good faces on it. It's got the thimble, and it does have the vernier, so it is a tenths micrometer. There's the sun. This has got to be one of the earliest Starett cases I've ever seen. It's got a real jewelry store watch kind of look to it. But anyways, so nice Starett 0 to 1 mic, satin finish. The lock works, the thimble ratchet works, and good faces. 20 bucks. That'll be a resale item. Just a quick correction. I was just checking my notes. I was going by memory. I actually ended up getting this for 15 bucks. This Starett micrometer. All right, so I feel better about that. Next purchase I made was shortly after I saw that voltmeter. Might be one of the best deals I had gotten all day. I spotted a shiny wrench on a table of junk, and I picked up the wrench, and I asked the lady how much for the little wrench, because I spotted it, thought maybe it might be Craftsman, picked it up. Turns out it's a snap-on. So it's a 7/16" snap-on wrench in really good condition, and she said everything on that table's 50 cents a piece, 50 cents per item. I was like, wow, all right, great. So I paid her with my lucky $50. Somebody had paid me in change. They paid me with a $50, a 50-cent piece, which you don't get those as often anymore. So I thought she'd like the novelty of having a $50, and so called it my lucky $50, and then I was passing the luck on to her, and she said, well, just for that, take another item for free. So I looked at the table. There wasn't anything really left that I wanted, but I saw this drill bit. It's a masonry drill bit, but it looks like it's brand new. It's marked USA. I don't know the maker, but I ended up getting these two items right here for 50 cents. And I think from a cost to value ratio standpoint, this little wrench is definitely the best deal of the day. Especially since then I went through a long drought where I wasn't able to find anything. I went through field after field, dealer after dealer, and either didn't find anything machinist related, or found some things that were either too far gone or overpriced, or both. Then I found a dealer who had a Gerstner toolbox, oak toolbox, and of course he wanted all the money for that. They bring high prices because, especially the small compact ones, people like to clean them up and put them on their dressers and use them as jewelry boxes because they got the felt lining in the small drawers and everything. I could totally see that. Anywho, check this out. This is a Brown & Sharp. This is a Brown & Sharp model 638, I think, or 633. I can't quite see it out here in the sun. Anyways, this is a thread pitch gauge. This one is really neat. This one goes up to 84 threads per inch. So I don't know if you're going to be able to even see it on the camera, but let me just show you what 84 threads per inch looks like. See if we can get that to focus. So I don't even know if that's in focus, guys, but that's really fine. So I have a Starett like this that's in my keeper pile, and I don't know whether or not it has the same thread pitches as this. This seems to have a lot more fine thread in it, so I might end up keeping that one. I don't know. And then I found this telescopic hole gauge. It's just a single gauge, but what's neat about this is also a Brown & Sharp, and it works perfectly fine. and it's got this really nice long handle. So I don't know, I may keep that. I don't know. Actually, I think I had some of these and I sold them a while back, so I'll probably end up selling this one. But here's the thing. I got these two items for 16 bucks for the pair. So I'm quite happy with that. I figured maybe I'm into this for 10 bucks and this for 6. I think that's the way I rationalized it. So the next pair of items I picked up off of the same dealer. I spotted this right off the bat. This is a Starett number 91B tap wrench. I think I have all of these in the small series. I think I have the A, the B, and the C. So I'll be able to resell this one. And I think the last one of these I sold, I think I got like 40 bucks for it. I honestly don't remember. But I got this one with this little itty bitty Starett spring caliper. Okay, it's actually marked there. So I got this little itty bitty cutie caliper and the Starett tap wrench for 10 bucks. So I bought those from the same guy as I bought the two Brown and Sharp items. So then I started to realize, okay, this guy's looking a deal. He was way down the other end of the road, so he had been there all week already, and he started to let the money and the stuff flow, so to speak. So then I put together a little pile, and what I ended up getting was I picked this up initially because he told me about it. He told me where to go look in his other tent there of junk, and I found that. I said, oh, well, you know, initially I discounted it, but then I was like, well, because there's no case, it's dirty, it needs to be cleaned up, but it is a Helios, which are made in Germany. These are actually pretty nice calipers. So these will make a nice set of dial calipers for somebody, cheap set. These will probably clean up just fine. I got these. Found another Starett spring inside caliper, okay. This is I'm not sure what model. This is a Greenfield tap and die, I'm pretty sure. Or is it a Little Giant? Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Wells Brothers of Greenfield, Massachusetts. So this is a Wells Brothers tap wrench. That's an early one. The jaws are kind of hogged out on it. But you'll see in a minute why I still took it. And this mag base, it's a Mitutoyo model 7010S mag base. And when I first picked it up, I noticed that I couldn't turn this. So what ended up happening was, he said to me, he says, you know, if you want to put, he gave me some pliers, and he said, if you want to put some extra force and try and turn it. I said, well, we're going to snap that off. He said, don't worry about it. He said, I'm not going to hold you accountable. So we put a wrench on this, and with much exertion we're able to actually turn this on and off. So I think it's just gummed up as hell from years of use. So it's actually in the on position right now. So we'll have to see if we can do anything about that. So that's, you know, a decent mag base if we can fix it. But I got this pile right here for 20 bucks. So I'm really into this for 5 bucks per item. So, you know, take it for what you will. And then I thought this was the last of the stuff that he had for me. And then I spotted one other item after I did the deal on that. And that's this Starett Indicator. This almost looks like a back button indicator, doesn't it? Like a 196 or whatever the heck it is. But it's not. It's just a small faced indicator. Okay. And it's dirty, could use a new crystal. Of course, these are plastic. But it seems to work perfectly fine. And this is if I could see the model on here or not. I think this is a number 81 dash. Have to forgive me, I don't have my glasses on. That's a thousandths indicator, small one. A little dirty, a little bit of rust. But I got that for 5 bucks. So I'll do all right with that. You know what, guys? That was so quick, down and dirty and fast. I think I'm going to add on. Well, no, what the heck with it. You know what? We'll call this an episode right here. If it edits down to only 15 minutes, so be it. I hope you enjoy watching these flea market finds videos. I've got some more coming up. I've got some stuff already bought and ready to go, but I'm trying to do some videos in between with other content, so I know you guys don't all like. Some of you like these, some of you don't. Some of you don't care about what I buy. So anyways, that's it for now. Appreciate it if you consider subscribing. I'm inching towards my 10,000 subscriber mark. And if you like what you see here, please hit the like button. Take care. Goodbye.